remember that the people are in the spirit of the governing class who hid from my challenge like complete punks because they're not men, are changing the sound of my voice to try to make themselves feel better because they're not men. Ezekiel 25, a prophecy against Ammon. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against the Ammonites and prophesy against them. Say to them, hear the word of the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you said, aha, over my sanctuary when it was desecrated, and over the land of Israel when it was laid waste, and over the people of Judah when they went into exile. Therefore I am going to give you to the people of the east as a possession. They will set up their camps and pitch their tents among you. They will eat your fruit and drink your milk. I will turn Rabbah into pasture for camels, and Ammon into a resting place for sheep. Then you will know I am the Lord. For this is what the sovereign Lord says, because you have clapped your hands and stamped your feet, rejoicing with malice of your heart against the land of Israel, as these people are rejoicing in their own ways, as they're persecuting me and damning their own kids to hell, mind you. So the Ammon is not just for the Ammonites, it's a formula for the punishments of all the inhabitants of the earth, especially as they mix together and they merge together. It's already occurred to some degree, spiritually, physically, you name it. Therefore, I will stretch out my hand against you and give you as plunder to the nations. I will wipe you out from among the nations and exterminate you from among the countries. I will destroy you and you will know that I am the Lord. Okay, so what it's saying is those people who represent for their countries, who obey God through me, who obeyed God through valid leaders before me, okay, they're going to control their, whatever God allows them. It's in the parable of the bags of gold, 10 minas. They're part of heaven, which you might compare to their nation in this world. And that's basically what it's saying here. If you have any questions, put in the comments. I got to shoot through these next couple chapters here. I'm falling way behind here, and when it comes to this book of Ezekiel, because of very immature people, the immature whites in the governing class, Jews, LGBT, token minorities who come into their immature and sissy spirits, crest-wearing worms and the like. Okay. Prophecy against Moab. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Because Moab and Seir said, look, Judah has become like all the other nations. Therefore I'll expose the flank of Moab, beginning at its frontier towns, Beth Jesimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim, the glory of that land. I will give Moab along with the Ammonites, the people of the east, as a possession, so that the Ammonites will not be remembered among the nations, and I'll inflict punishment on Moab. Then they will know that I am the Lord. A prophecy against Edom. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Because Edom took revenge on Judah and became very guilty by doing so, therefore this is what the Lord says. I will stretch out my hand against Edom and kill both man and beast. I will lay it waste, and from Teman to Dedan they will fall by the sword. I will take vengeance on Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they will deal with Edom in accordance with my anger and my wrath. They will know my vengeance, declares the sovereign Lord. A prophecy against Philistia. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Because the Philistines acted in vengeance and took revenge with malice in their hearts, and with ancient hostility sought to destroy Judah, therefore this is what the sovereign Lord says. I'm about to stretch out my hand against the Philistines, and I'll wipe out the Kerethites and destroy those remaining along the coast. I will carry out great vengeance on them and punish them in my wrath, and they will know I am the Lord when I take vengeance on them. That was interrupted in quite a few ways here. But in a nutshell, basically, what the people of the earth do to each other is like less than what, ants do to each other. The true punishment comes from the spiritual punishments that are aimed at them. God is not some kind of sissy governing class worm, some kind of worm in the Israeli government or the American government. His punishment is actually real and important and has meaning. Not some kind of sissy throwing a fit and may as well be wearing a wig with a musket like a coward. It's very straightforward. And so these things are figurative, okay? And it's referring to the essence of that idea in the spiritual realm. And it's referring to marshaling these people over to eternal punishment. If you don't understand the connections there, focus on what they did wrong and know it's leading them to hell. And the offspring of the people on this planet will be cut off from God after my flesh dies, no matter what. Okay, Ezekiel 26, a prophecy against Tyre. In the 11th month of the 12th year, on the first day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, because Tyre has said of Jerusalem, aha, the gate to the nations is broken, and its doors have swung open to me. Now that she lies in ruins, I will prosper. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Tyre, and I will bring many nations against you, like the sea casting up its waves. They will destroy the walls of Tyre and pull down her towers. I will scrape away her rubble and make her a bare rock. Out in the sea she will become a place to spread fish nets, for I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. She will become plunder for the nations, and her settlements on the mainland will be ravaged by the sword. Then they will know that I am the Lord. For this is what the sovereign Lord says. From the north I am going to bring against Tyre Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, king of kings, with horses and chariots, with horsemen and a great army. He will ravage your settlements on the mainland with the sword. He will set up siege works against you, build a ramp up to your walls, and raise his shields against you. He will direct the blows of his battering rams against your walls and demolish your towers with his weapons. Here we see Nebuchadnezzar again. He's not really the king of kings, right? He is this temporary tool. Unlike me, I'm Christ. Nebuchadnezzar is someone who was destined to fall off in the story. It's like the devil in a sense. His horses will be so many that they will cover you with dust. Your walls will tremble at the noise of the war horses, wagons, and chariots when he enters your gates, as men enter a city whose walls have been broken through. Again, he's being used as a tool. And this also connects to Ezekiel chapter 1, where it talks about the wheels and the living creatures and the fire and the burning coals, what have you. The hooves of his horses will trample all your will trample all your streets. He will kill your people with a sword, and your strong pillars will fall to the ground. They will plunder your wealth and loot your merchandise. They will break down your walls and demolish your fine houses, and throw your stones, timber, and rubble into the sea. I will put an end to your noisy songs, and the music of your harps will be heard no more. I will make you a bare rock, and you will become a place to spread fish nets. You will never be rebelled, for I, the Lord, have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. This connects to Revelation, where it says Babylon the Great has fallen, Revelation 18, for example. And the voice of bride and bridegroom are never heard into her again. The voice of any music worth having, music is the natural rhythm of nature, as harmony, music as music worth listening to, because the people making it are scum, and they're just trying to imitate God, and there's some kind of worms going to hell who have utterly disgraced themselves and their offspring beyond the point of no return. Pretty straightforward the way these things connect together. This is what the sovereign Lord says to Tyre. Will not the coastlands tremble at the sound of your fall, when the wounded groan and the slaughter takes place in you? Then all the princes of the coast will step down from their thrones and lay aside their robes and take off their embroidered garments. Clothed with terror, they will sit on the ground, trembling every moment, appalled at you. Then they will take up a lament concerning you and say to you, you are destroyed, city of renown, people by men of the sea. You are power on the seas, and you and your citizens, you put your terror on all who live there. Now the coastlands tremble on the day of your fall. The islands and the sea are terrified at your collapse. This is what the sovereign Lord says. When I make you a desolate city, like cities no longer inhabited, and when I bring the ocean depths over you, and its vast waters cover you, then I will bring you down with those who go down to the pit, to the people of long ago. I'll make you dwell in the earth below as in ancient ruins. Those who go down to the pit and you... with those who go down to the pit, to the people of long ago, I'll make you dwell in the earth below as in ancient ruins. With those who go down to the pit, you will not return to take your place in the land of the living. I'll bring you to a horrible end, and you will be no more. You will be sought. You will never again be found, declares the sovereign Lord. So defeated, right? When you don't have a worthwhile life, you may as well be dead. And a lot of people, there's some kind of craftsman worm, some kind of nerd, some kind of mere soldier, mere cop. They don't really understand that. So they chose to follow pedos, and they chose to bring their families with them. And they chose to say stupid things to them. You're like, we're going to have to consider it. Well, I'm going to have to consider I'm Jesus, and you're just an idiot. Okay, so Ezekiel chapter 27. Lament over Tyre. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, take up a lament concerning Tyre. Say to Tyre, situated at the gateway to the sea, merchant of peoples on many coasts. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You say, Tyre, I am perfect in beauty. Your domain was on the high seas. Your builders brought your beauty to perfection. They made all your timbers of juniper and cinnamon, that is Mount Hermon. They took a cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. Of oaks from Bashan, they made it your oars. Of cypress wood from the coast of Cyprus, they made your deck adorned with ivory. Fine embroidered linen from Egypt was your sail and served as your banner. Your awnings were of blue and purple from the coast of Elisha. So again, keep in mind there's a bunch of weird-looking elves type people, a bunch of weird-looking gnome type people. There's a bunch of weirdos out there. People that are kind of gay, child molester look in their eyes in the church. There's a bunch of crazy LGBT people, and they make it so I have to read this, a certain way to get it out of the way, to get it done with here, okay, because they keep interrupting. Their forms of reading the Bible are so inferior, just like the Pope, just like Protestants, Catholics, you name it, that they have to interfere with me making these videos to make themselves feel better. It is very pathetic. There's a bunch of arrogant English people that go to nice restaurants and try to pretend they're important, but their souls are very rotten, very disgraced. Shame on you people. Shame on your families. You're cowards. Men of Sidon and Arvad were your oarsmen. Your skilled men, Tyr, were aboard as your sailors. Veteran craftsmen of Byblos were on board as shipwrights to caulk your seams. All the ships of the sea and their sailors came alongside to trade for your wares. Men of Persia, Lydia, and Put served as soldiers in your army. They hung their shields and helmets on your walls, bringing you splendor. Men of Arvad and Helek guarded your walls on every side. Men of Gamad were in your towers. They hung their shields around your walls. They brought your beauty to perfection. Tarshish did business with you because of your great wealth of goods. They exchanged silver, iron, tin, and lead for your merchandise. Greece, Tubal, and Meshech did business with you. They traded human beings and articles of bronze for your wares. Men of Beth Togarmah exchanged chariot horses, cavalry horses, and mules for your merchandise. The men of Rhodes, Dedan, traded with you, and many coastland with your customers. They paid you with ivory tusks and ebony. Aram did business with you because of your many products. They exchanged turquoise, purple fabric, embroidered work, fine linen, coral, and rubies for your merchandise. Let's stop here again. Let God see. God knows what I'm doing right now. They knows that they're interfering. Those who are interfering right now in their families, all on duty, let them be cursed to the extreme. Let them have no peace in the afterlife. Let them rest in pure misery. And everyone giving them their orders, etc. Okay. Now I ought to teach these inferior forms of life, and I do mean inferior, these worms, these cowards. Let's go to verse 17. Judah and Israel traded with you. They exchanged wheat from Minnith and confections, honey, olive oil, and balm for your wares. Damascus did business with you because of your many products and great wealth of goods. They offered wine from Helbon, wool from Zahar, and casks of wine from Izal in exchange for your wares, wrought iron, cassia, and calamus. Dedan traded in saddle blankets with you. Arabia and all the princes of Kedar were your customers. They did business with you in lambs, rams, and goats. Your merchants of Sheba and Ramah traded with you for your merchandise. They exchanged the finest of all kinds of spices and precious stones and gold. Haran, Kana, and Eden, and merchants of Sheba, Asher, and Kilmad traded with you. In your marketplace they traded with you beautiful garments, blue fabric, embroidered work, and multicolored rugs with cords twisted and tightly knotted. The ships of Tarshish served as carriers for your wares. You are filled with heavy cargo as you sail the sea. Your oarsmen take you out to the high seas, but the east wind will break you to pieces far out at sea. Your wealth, merchandise, and wares, your mariners, sailors, and shipwrights, your merchants, and all your soldiers, and everyone else on board will sink into the heart of the sea on the day of your shipwreck. Notice it says the heart of the sea, right? Going back to the essence of ideas. The shorelands will quake when your sailors cry out. All who handle the oars will abandon their ships. The mariners and all the sailors will stand on the shore. They will raise their voice and cry bitterly over you. They will sprinkle dust on their heads and roll in ashes. They will shave their heads because of you and will put on sackcloth. They will weep over you with anguish of soul and bitter mourning. As they wail and mourn over you, they will take up lament concerning you. Who has ever silence like Tyr, surrounded by the sea? When your merchandise went out to the seas, you satisfied many nations with your great wealth and your wares. You were rich kings and your kings of the earth. Now you are shattered by the sea in the depths of the waters. Your wares and all your company have gone down with you. All who live in the coastland are appalled at you. Their kings shudder with horror, and their faces are distorted with fear. The merchants among the nations scoff at you. You have come to a horrible end and will be no more. Just like the people on duty and their offspring, just like the United States of America, Israel, and all these nations that are persecuting me. And when I say of your pathetic worldly rules, first of all, I don't give a damn. I'm in charge, you idiots who fail to serve God, especially you idiots who pretend to serve God. Evil people working at YouTube one way or another, and in the government, and everyone is not obeying God through me, and God will consider that when he judges you all. I'm in charge, not the police trying to act bad, not the government, not people in secret societies, not Jewish rabbis or the Pope or Protestant people with money and position in their church, not the Mormons, not the Baptists, not the Pentecostal, whatever that is, Methodist, what have you. Not the Amish, not Jehovah's Witness. You all know that they're all in rebellion. They all worship the devil. One look at them, you should know that. I've won, they've lost. And they persecuted me with malice in their hearts, or they were in the spirit. They were yoked to the spirit of those persecuting me with malice in their heart. Therefore, I declare them the enemies of God.